Hi there. Um, this is going to be a video about the sheeple. Yes, that's part of it, but I want to talk about in this video why we're here as well, and the importance of what you do on Earth, how that's very important. Um, because I had an unexpected spiritual awakening just under 10 years ago, and it's been an awakening process and massive shifting for just under 10 years. And just under 10 years ago, I had the big awakening out of nowhere. I wasn't into this kind of things. And to cut a long story short, you start to interact. You're interacting now with heaven. Heaven is actually a place, and you're interacting now with the heaven self. There's a heaven you and there's a human you. That's where we originally come from. But you're put here. We are all put here to on Earth to help the planet awaken and heal and evolve. Now, the problem with the sheeple is the sheeple think that they can obey their government, they can not really care about what's going on in the world, and everything's fine because they're just looking at it from living in this reality. But you see, you're not your body. You're not your body. The body is basically a car. You could have a person could go into one car, go into a little Mini, then they go into a Porsche. It's the same person. The person is the driver. You are the driver in the body. And when your body finishes and you no longer can live anymore, that energy, that life then has to go on. And where we originally come from is that heaven I'm talking about. Now, I'm not religious, I'm not into anything like that. But this is from the spiritual awakening journey. And I think the sheeple, when you observe the sheeple, a lot of them tend to think that they're here and that here is the only place, and they don't know what's happening. You see, this reality as well is a simulation. Reality is simulated. It's a simulation, like many scientists talk about as well. And it's a simulation, and everything is like in a computer game. You can see everything's going on. They can see everything's going on, and what you do is monitored. That's how many people that have near-death experiences say they had a life review when they died. And that's what happens, you see. And then it's determined where you can go, determined on how you chose to live on Earth. If you chose to live a life of truth, of good things, then that's going to be good for you. But if you chose, and they make the decision, because there they have advisors who have earned that position as that in heaven, a spirit, and you get ones lower down because there's different levels of reality. You see, heaven is the perfect you, and that is where all your family is. Not even people from this life either. People from different lives as well. But my point is that the sheeple seem to think that they can just do what they like, and there's no comebacks. There is comebacks. Right? There is comebacks. And this is very important to talk about because the sheeple don't seem to understand that. They seem to just run full steam ahead and absolutely programmed, but they don't realise what they're actually heading into. And also, the fact that I'm saying this, how you respond to me saying this, will also be recorded and monitored in your life review when you die. Now, this is not me talking. That people that have, I had an unexpected spiritual awakening, as I say, and I was interacting with this heaven self, you could say, from there, in that spiritual awakening. But I've watched like documentaries with people who've had near-death experiences, and they say this, that you have a life review in that death experiences, when you die, and you've got to be very, you've got to really not don't think of where you are now, because like I say, you're just using that body until that body then packs in, and then your energy has to leave. And so I thought this was very important to talk about, because that's the thing. The sheep, because the sheeple, what are controlling the sheeple is this planet is controlled by a demonic force, right? It's controlled by a demonic force. And this demonic force is really what's manipulating the sheeple. But again, like I said, you will be reviewed based on your choices. That, yes, there might be a demonic force, but I chose to spiritually awaken. You're not. And so all this is going to go down on recording for when you die. So don't go thinking that it's that nothing's, there's no comebacks. Yes, there's comebacks. Everything we do creates a karmic wheel. If we do, it's cause and effect. If you do good, good things happen. If you do bad, bad things happen to you. And this is not to frighten anyone. This is just from science talks about this. So science explains how everything's energy, and when you do good, you get it back. It's the way reality is. Because everything's energy. You see, everything's energetic. And the way energy works is whatever frequency you're operating at, you attract that frequency back. And energy just excels and develops and gets stronger. So, yeah, this is very important because, yes, the sheep will obviously know what's really going on. They're not that stupid. They know that what they're doing, but obviously it's obvious to me that they think in their heads that it's fine to be like that because there's no comebacks. And I just thought it was very important to do a video explaining the dangers of what the sheeple are doing. Because what is going on in the planet just now is the demonic forces that's running it. It's like the Illuminati symbol with the pyramid, and it is controlling at the top, and it's a depopulation plan. That's what's going on right now. I was watching someone on Facebook put a link, and it was this person watching a military site, an internet website, a military. And what's going on just now on the planet is it's a military attack on humanity, according to this website that this guy was on. And it was explained about all the deaths. And so basically it's all planned, right? It's all planned. And so it's our choice what we do with that. It's our choice. It's not, nothing is absolute. It's all determined on what we decide to do. To push this back and to stop what the system is trying to do to us, we've got to really push back. You got to understand, why do you think a Conservative government that couldn't give a shit about you would have you clapping for the NHS? My mum's in the hospital every other day with kidney trouble and with diabetes, and she tells me what's going on in the hospitals. NHS staff are putting COVID-19 on pretty much everybody, right? Why? That's why they wanted you to clap for them, because this is a depopulation agenda. Of course they're wanting you to clap for the NHS, who were basically killing people because they were depriving cancer patients and many patients of treatment for a virus that doesn't exist. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing. And by creating a fake pandemic, what you then do is you then kill a load of other people because you're focusing only on COVID. And then they were making dancing videos, dancing about it all. These are the people. Why do you think they want you to clap for them? Of course. Great. The NHS workers probably don't know what's going on. Because they're brainwashed. Right? And that's what I'm saying about the sheeple. And all this is getting recorded. If you don't want to believe what I say, then go and do your research about what I'm talking about. Go and research people that have had near-death experiences, and they all say the same things, pretty much. That there's a life review when you die. So if you're a prick, and you're just going round and you're not giving a shit, and you're a sheeple, and you think it's funny, you won't be thinking it's funny when you can't get to go to a very nice place, when you have to be sent straight back here. You won't be thinking it's very funny then, right? And this is what I awakened to. This awakening I had was under 10 years ago. And I'm not into religion. I don't follow this kind of information. So you can imagine the shock it was to me. And now you're interacting with that heaven self, if you like. And that's given me that's how I get the information. I talk about many subjects. I get relentless knowledge. But anyone can access it. Anyone can access it. How you access it, it's within your heart center. There's a heart vortex which connects you with that power. And that's what we are. We're a power. We're a power source, an infinite power source in a body. Then the body dies at some stage. You're not the body. This is why racism, and even we're all the same consciousness. We're all the same infinite power, right? It's just that you're like a driver that has went in one car, and when you've had enough of that car, you go into another car. Right? But you're the driver driving the car. You're not the car. You're not the body. You are the power which operates the body. Right? And it's sometimes can be a very short experience. If you think about it, even if you're like an older person, it's still not that long. And then you're judged. Right? And you'll be judged on all the good things and all the bad things, and then it will be decided what happens next. Right? Because they're in charge, because the fact that when you die, you're into a different level. Everything's simulated. All reality is simulated. Excuse me. But yeah, I just thought this was an important video to do, because the sheeple, like I say, they don't seem to comprehend what's really happening. But that's one thing. But I also think that it's also a choice what you're doing, and all this is going down and creating whatever is going to happen to you when you die. And like I say, I wouldn't want someone to be sent back here, and or else, or worse, because whatever you do, if you're doing bad things and not caring, that's an energy, and energy excels itself. That's why you get people that get nothing but bad luck, because energy just grows itself. This is how energy works. And so, yeah, think about that. Think, and maybe then you'll start to do something for the rest of the planet. That's not the real reason you should do anything. You should do it because you want to help other people. But I thought this was a good video to make people more aware of this. But I think the thing is that I think most people are aware. And that's the thing. If you're aware of what you're doing and you're doing bad, then it's only going to result in bad for you when you have to leave this reality. Right? But people seem to think, oh, it's okay, I can do what I want. No. That is the demonic forces gotten into your head, because the demonic forces, the way they work is, they work on, because the only power they have is money and control on this planet. When they pack in and they have to leave, everything has to return to the right creator. Which is all one, by the way. Everything's oneness, but we have a separate experience. But you can't return to oneness until you've learned all the lessons. You see? Till you've done all the right things, till you're ready. Because heaven is like I say, everything's energy. Heaven is an energy as well. There is an energy there. And you can't get there if you're not ready for that. So think about this, and think about the kind of planet you're creating. You could be sent back to this planet. Do you want to create a world that is really bad and going to get worse, or do you want to create something that's better? And do things for the right reasons as well. And I think I'm just going to leave it there. And for latest updates from me, videos, etc., you can visit my website, which is www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you for watching and listening.